Hi Cancer, this is Tisch Aitken, and this is your monthly report for the month of March 2022. This has been an incredibly intense beginning of the year. Although we are in the new age of Aquarius, we have been revisiting the epic of Capricorn. Venus, which is the planet of love, value, and partnerships, stationed retrograde on December 19th at 26 degrees and 29 minutes of the cardinal earth sign of Capricorn in your house of partnerships and relationships. This defaults back to when Saturn was transiting in Capricorn at the height of the epic of Capricorn. It got to 26 degrees of Capricorn on March 12th of 2020, right around when we were just about to get in deep lockdown in the pandemic, which already obviously had started happening. But this is when things got really intense soon after Saturn entered Aquarius. But also Mercury, which is a personal planet, initially retrograded in Aquarius in your house of death and rebirth and money and debt and facing the wounds to heal, but also empowerment. And it set off where Saturn got in 2021. It got as far as 13 degrees of Aquarius, but then Mercury re-entered the cardinal earth sign of Capricorn in your house of relationships and partnerships. That's where Saturn was from December 20th of 2017 through December 17th of 2020. So really reevaluating your partnerships and relationships in a major way, because Capricorn is your opposite sign. And whether it was revisiting certain relationships or mourning relationships you have lost, there has been so much loss. And Venus retrograded, where Pluto, the cosmic compost, retrograded in April of 2021, and the two have been working in tandem since the early mid part of December. They met up on December 11th, a second time on December 25th, and they will meet up a third and final time on March 3rd. A lot of loss and endings since the ending of last year, and mourning all of the loss of so many people that we love, of so many ways of life, and for you, so much intensity in your area of relationships. And it's been very painful, but hopefully bringing us all on the collective in the new age of Aquarius to heal the pain. And for you, a lot of facing the pain in order to evolve. Saturn is transiting in your house of death and regeneration through March 7th of next year. And currently there is a stellium of planets transiting in Capricorn. Venus and Mars are both setting off on March 1st. They're both setting off where Venus initially retrograded at 26 degrees of Capricorn. Pluto is just a degree away, all in your house of relationships. Juno, which is an asteroid that represents partnering, is transiting in Aquarius. Mercury, which is communication, and Saturn, which is how you anchor your goals, are all transiting in your house of empowerment and regeneration, but also mourning the loss in order to heal. And then there's a stellium of planets transiting in Pisces, which is a fellow water sign. The Sun, Jupiter, which is the luckiest planet and is in its rulership in Pisces by ancient astrology, and Neptune, which is the modern ruler of Pisces, all transiting in your house of publicity, promotion, hope, manifesting, belief systems, really trying to expand your optimism as you heal and face the pain. And that is really critical for you. And so heaviness has been very potent, but there's a lot of beauty and magic. Venus and Mars have been dancing together in the sky since Venus stationed direct on January 29th. They started to conjoin the following day, and they will be dancing together until April 5th. And so we begin the month on March 1st. The sun forms a helpful sextile to Uranus at 9:05 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and on March 2nd at 12:05 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's a very innovative and inventive energy, good for brainstorming. Mercury also meets up with Saturn at 11:33 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that is important for focusing on what you need to purge and what you need to face. It can be heavy energy, but there is a beautiful new moon that takes place at 12:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at 12 degrees and 7 minutes of the mutable water sign of Pisces. Beautiful new moon, conjunct Jupiter, the luckiest planet, by just 2 degrees. And again, Jupiter rules Pisces in ancient astrology. And this is occurring in your house of hope and manifesting. So definitely do a new moon ritual, do the law of abundance, set intentions of whatever you want to manifest. It's really lovely energy. And Mercury Saturn is good for focusing. So if you want to do something with your career, work hard. Whatever it is, if you're trying to repair your finances, get real as you manifest the hope. On March 3rd, a lot of intensity that day. Mars and Pluto meet up in the sky at 3:43 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in your house of partnerships and relationships. There can be a lot of combative energy with that. People could be looking for a fight, and just be aware of that. And then Venus, the planet of love and relationships, meets up with Pluto, the cosmic compost, at 12:56 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in your house of relationships. That can bring major endings, and it can also bring major power struggles. It can be very sexy, romantic energy, but it is very emotionally intense. So just being aware of that. On March 5th, there's a lot of lovely energy because the sun meets up with Jupiter in the sky at 9:06 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing a lot of levity and light. And then Mars, which is the planet of action and passion, changes signs at 10:23 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Venus, the planet of love and money, follows suit and changes signs and enters Aquarius at 10:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And on March 6th at 1:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the two cosmic lovers meet up at 11:12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on March 5th and at 2:12 a.m. on March 6th Eastern Standard Time. And that is beautiful initiating energy, setting off the winter solstice from December 20th of 2020, when Saturn and Jupiter met up in the sky at the very first degree of Aquarius, forming a new 20-year vision of what you want to manifest and create, and how you're healing the loss and restrictions and focusing on financial goals that you want to manifest in your life. And Venus and Mars are so sexy together. This could bring romantic opportunities for you, intimate opportunities, and financial opportunities. So really initiating energy, really lovely. And then on March 9th, Mercury, which is the planet of communication, changes signs at 8:32 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and enters the mutable water sign of Pisces, where it'll be transiting until March 27th in your house of manifesting and hope, really tapping into hope. And then on March 13th, Mercury forms a helpful sextile to Uranus at 8:13 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's a very innovative and social energy, really nice, good for brainstorming. On March 18th, March 18th, there is a full moon that takes place at 3:18 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. and it is at 27 degrees and 40 minutes of the mutable earth sign of Virgo. And this full moon brings a culmination, and it falls in your house of communication and marketing and sales. It could bring things to fruition. And this is good energy for bringing things to closure in a sense. But it could be a bit emotional because it is opposing a fixed star known as Shiat, which is one of sadness. But I do feel there's a lot of nice energy with that full moon, because Venus forms a helpful sextile to Chiron, the wounded healer. That's good for healing energy around love. And that occurs at 12:24 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The sun forms a helpful aspect to Pluto, the planet of empowerment, at 3:57 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this full moon is releasing the blocks so you can heal and evolve. On March 19th, Venus squares Uranus at 7:16 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that could be challenging energy. That could be whatever you expect it to be. It'll be something else. Plans can change, but it still could be, could be difficult with finances, or with friends, but just, whatever you think it is, it might be something else, a lot going on. And then on March 20th, we have the equinox, which is when the sun is directly above the equator, and this occurs 2 times a year. The sun enters the cardinal fire sign of Aries, entering your house of career and life goals at 11:33 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where it will transit until April 19th. A lot of focus and light in your house of career. In the northern hemisphere, this is the beginning of spring, a time of renewal and fertility and creativity, honoring what the next 3 months bring. And in the southern hemisphere, it is the beginning of fall, when the leaves fall, and it is towards loss and endings and that ritual and season of life, and honoring the beauty in that as well, and letting things go and continuing. So then we have on the day of the equinox, Mercury meets up with Jupiter at 11:06 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that brings a lot of optimism to the equinox and to this ushering in of a new time. For astrology, it's the beginning of the astrological new year. On March 22nd, Mars squares Uranus at 4:44 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That could be combative energy with friends or financial partnerships, so lay low with that. On March 23rd, Mercury meets up with Neptune at 1:44 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is a really good manifesting energy, but deception could get uncovered, and communication could be confusing. On March 27th, Mercury enters the cardinal fire sign of Aries at 3:44 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where it will be until April 10th in your house of career and life achievement. A lot of focus on that, so that's a good thing. And on March 28th, Neptune forms a helpful sextile to the north node of Fate at 9:13 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that could bring fated opportunities and encounters. And so I wish you a lot of luck. Venus and Mars are dancing in the sky, bringing a lot of love and magic through April 5th. And Jupiter and Neptune will start transiting together later in the month of March, and they will become conjunct in the sky in your house of and manifesting on April 12th, when they meet up at 23 degrees of Pisces. And that's a very manifesting energy as well. So we have a lot of magic to work with. Mercury is now transiting in Aquarius, the beginning of the month, and its exaltation, and we're getting out of the Venus and Capricorn story as of the beginning of March as well. So Thank you very much and good luck.